this video, I'm going to take you through common problems in pronoun usage, namely ambiguous pronouns and issues with pronoun agreement. So the first thing we need to ask ourselves is what is a pronoun? So a pronoun is any word that is replacing a noun. So usually a more specific noun. So we have our personal pronouns here, I, you, he, she, it, we, they. And then the possessive pronouns, reflexive pronouns that go with those, in addition to a bunch of other pronouns that are words replacing our more specific nouns. Anytime you use a pronoun, it should be preceded by an antecedent. The antecedent is the more specific noun that your pronoun is referring to. If you don't have an antecedent, you shouldn't be using a pronoun. So that is actually the first problem, one of the main problems with pronoun usage. There's no antecedent, which is an ambiguous pronoun. So when we are speaking, a lot of times we'll throw out pronouns. They shut down all government agencies for a month, right? We're not quite sure who shut it down. It got shut down. They shut down the government agencies. But in our academic writing, it's not okay to use pronouns without an antecedent. So we need to be specific in our language and say Congress shut down the government agencies for a month, or Clark County shut down the government agencies, okay? And it gives me a better idea of what you're talking about. So here are a couple of common issues that come up. In the article, it said coqui frogs are invasive. So a lot of students want to use this formulation, but the issue here is that if the it is in the article, then I guess it's not the article that said this. So it's unclear what the it is. It's also a little repetitive. So rather than saying in the article it said, just go ahead and say the article confirmed. The article can't say anything because the article is not a person, but the article confirmed coqui frogs are invasive, or the article reported that coqui frogs are invasive, right? Use another signal verb. Here's another one, kind of the same idea. According to the article, it said something, something. Again, same idea. We have an ambiguous pronoun. We've got some repetition. According to the article, coqui frogs are invasive. Okay, go ahead and just get to it. Here's another common problem that comes up in the introductions of textual analysis. Whenever we have analysis introducing a text, we need to say what the title was, and we need to say who the author or artist was, right? So in The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie, he writes about his childhood. It sounds absolutely okay, right? But it's the same issue because we have this he that's, that's in the book that was by this author. We can't assume that it's the author, that the Sherman Alexie is the antecedent there. So even this one, I'm sorry guys, this is an ambiguous pronoun. And so what you want to say, you need to go ahead and clarify who you're talking about. The author writes about, in this book by Sherman Alexie, the author writes about his childhood, or in this book by Sherman Alexie, Alexie writes about his childhood. This is the last example I have for you. So this one, okay, after braiding Anne's hair, Sue decorated them with ribbons. It sounds pretty clear, right? The antecedent is right there, but the them could refer to, is it the hair? Is it the braids? What exactly? It is somewhat ambiguous because it could be several things there. So we want to replace it. Just be specific. After braiding Anne's hair, Sue decorated the braids with ribbons. After braiding Anne's hair, Sue decorated Anne's hair with ribbons. Or was it something else completely that she decorated with ribbons? Because it was after braiding Anne's hair. Okay, so even with something like that, you want to be specific. The lesson here, guys, be specific. When we get to our academic writing, it is all about specificity. It is all about being clear about what we're talking about. So the ambiguous pronouns, avoiding those ambiguous pronouns is an important part of writing in a really academic, specific way. The other issue that also comes up is when we have mismatched pronouns and antecedents that can be mismatched either with the gender or usually with the number. So here we have a couple of problems. A presidential candidate must appeal to a wide audience if they want to win. They is the pronoun, and the antecedent is presidential candidate, which is singular, so it doesn't match. So technically we would have to say a presidential candidate must appeal to a wide audience if he or she wants to win. Okay, that is one possible way to go about it. Or if we want to avoid that awkwardness, we could say presidential candidates must appeal to a wide audience if they want to win. Okay, so now we have agreement. Perfect. Another one, David lent his motorcycle to someone who allowed their friend to use it. The pronoun is there, and the antecedent is someone, which is singular. So again, it's mismatched. So what we want to do, we need to, maybe we didn't really know whether it was a he or a she. We need to find out, and we need to say his friend to use it. And if we're really not sure, we need to say his or her. That's it. Good luck.